The Pittsburgh Steelers need to re-sign inside linebacker Elandon Roberts immediately because he is still a free agent and can help this team tremendously. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers did him wrong a few years ago. Let him go to the Raiders for cheap on a contract and not re-sign him, but instead giving more money to Malik Harrison, a younger version of him. Or at least it was supposed to be, but it just has not worked out that way. Malik Harrison has not been able to replace the production of Elandon Roberts because what Elandon Roberts brings is a fierce competitiveness, someone who has a downhill tackling ability and unscared to get in the way of anyone. So the Steelers need to bring him back immediately. But first, before I get more into this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, I see people on social media talking about, hey, there's still free agents out there like Stefon Diggs, and we need to bring him back to join this wide receiver room. No, if there's one position and one player that the Steelers need to look at, it is inside linebacker. Because inside linebacker has been a problem for the Steelers ever since Ryan Shazier's injury, basically. And we thought we filled that with Patrick Queen, and then we thought we filled that with Peyton Wilson. But it just has not been the case. And the best player the Pittsburgh Steelers arguably have had at inside linebacker, even if it was for one season, has been Elandon Roberts. Because Elandon Roberts, when he was here, what he brought to this defense was so valuable that he was able to stop anyone that came towards his section. And even though he isn't looked at as a sideline to sideline player and someone with the speed, he was able to use his valuable traits to his advantage and hide his weaknesses. And when you look at what the Pittsburgh Steelers have on their roster right now, they have a player in Patrick Queen who is more so known for coverage, and his tackling ability is not there. He had the highest missed tackles in the entire NFL. And then when you look at Peyton Wilson, yes, he is an all-around inside linebacker. But in college, he is more so known as a coverage linebacker, not necessarily a tackler. And when you look at Malik Harrison, he is basically the only player the Steelers have at inside linebacker who is that pure downhill tackler. And like I said, he was brought in to replace Elandon Roberts. The Steelers actually paid more for Malik Harrison in free agency at the time than they did with Elandon Roberts letting him go. They paid $2 million more. Malik Harrison made like $4 million. Elandon Roberts made $2 million, the veteran minimum. So they kind of did Elandon Roberts dirty, trying to replace him with a younger version. But he is not replaceable. Malik Harrison has not been able to replace him last season. He does not have the same ability. Yes, he looks to be built in size, but Elandon Roberts' mindset is just completely different. Malik Harrison is not the same player. So what can the Steelers do? Well, they could easily cut Malik Harrison and save $4 million in cap space, and then go out and sign Elandon Roberts and right their wrongs and bring him back. And that's what they should be looking to do. Not add Stefon Diggs to this team, but you add Elandon Roberts to this team. Because you're bringing in someone who's a secure tackler. You're bringing in someone who could be brought in on running downs. And we all know the Steelers have had problems tackling in the past. Like I said, Patrick Queen being one of the worst tacklers in the league. But late towards the end of the season, they always break down in terms of what their run defense looks like. So Elandon Roberts is a player who can solve those issues. So I'm going to read you some Elandon Roberts stats with the Pittsburgh Steelers because his time here was really good. And you have to remember, he wasn't an every down snap type of player. He was only brought in certain situations. But in 2 years, 2023 and 2024, what he was able to do is get over 100 tackles in his first season in Pittsburgh. He had over 100 tackles in 2023. And then the following season, he had 50, 46. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, they could bring someone in with the ability to tackle. And that is so valuable. And where did Patrick Queen look his best in Pittsburgh? It was when he had a tackler next to him and he didn't have to worry about tackling. So where did Peyton Wilson look his best? His rookie season when he was playing next to Elandon Roberts. Peyton Wilson didn't look as good last season because he had to do more and he was asked to be more of a tackler, but that isn't his role. So putting people back in their natural position has been a theme of the Steelers this offseason. From the offensive line, switching players from left guard to right guard to right tackle, whatever. They were switching players back to their natural position. So why not switch inside linebackers back to their natural role as well? Stop making Patrick Queen a tackler. Stop making Peyton Wilson a pure tackler. Have them do what they do best, and that is coverage. Get out into space, use their athleticism, use their skill set that they have, that they've shown in this league and in college, and bring back Elandon Roberts and let him be that downhill force instead, because he's still capable of doing it at a high level. He's only 32 years old, and his last season in Pittsburgh, which was 2024, he showed out. Even in the Raiders system, in 2025, he had 90 tackles just last season. Who was his defensive coordinator? Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham is now the Steelers defense coordinator too. So if you want to bring back familiar face, it is Elandon Roberts. Not only has he played with the Steelers, but he's played with Patrick Graham as well. So bring him back and let Malik Harrison go. This is the most obvious move that has been yet to be made this offseason. It really makes no sense why Malik Harrison is still on this roster and Elandon Roberts is not. The only thing you could say is maybe special teams, but at the same time, you could fill someone else in special teams. We want players who affect the game on defense. Special teams happens once in a while. Defensive possessions happen for half the game. So the Steelers, they need to bring back Elandon Roberts, and this is the real reason why. So the Steelers, I believe that Elandon Roberts could really help this team in more ways than one. Because when you look at him, he not only brings a tackling ability, and that he brings forced fumbles, he brings a fierce competitiveness, game-changing momentum. He also allows players to go back to their natural roles, and that is a big thing. Patrick Queen is in on the final year of his contract. Peyton Wilson, he's going into his third season. We need a major leap from him. And the only way that you could get those players playing back to the high level they were playing at was when Elandon Roberts was here, because that's when they were at their best. Elandon Roberts is not only someone who could play on the field, but he's someone who brings something off the field, on the sidelines as well. Because when players see someone playing with that much force and not scared to put their head in and get dirty, that's when the momentum changes. That's when other players start stepping up and wanting to play the same way. When they're seeing a player give 100%, that's when other players take action as well. So Elandon Roberts not only leads by his voice, but he leads by example. And the Steelers should bring him back immediately. But anyway, that is the end of this video. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this topic. What do you want Elandon Roberts back to the Pittsburgh Steelers? I personally think it's the most obvious move of the offseason that is yet to happen. I'd rather it more than any other free agent signing. He has been one of my favorite Steelers free agent acquisitions in a while. The other one being Deshaun Elliott, because they play at 100% all the time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you want this move to be made. And once again, make sure you also subscribe to this channel with notifications on for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports, Everything surrounding this team this entire offseason I've you covered. From just talks just like this about how to upgrade this team in more ways than one, but also highlights are coming up for training camp right around the corner. And I'll be covered with all those. So this is your best spot for everything Pittsburgh Steelers football. And until the next video tomorrow, I'll see you guys all later. That's it for me. I'm out. Peace.